Hey, what's up everybody? So, this is kind of an update type deal. I told you guys I was going to be giving you a Stanley Meyer's what is going on and where that all stands and the whole ordeal. Now, a lot of people, from what I'm gathering, are or a few people anyway, are basically saying that I gave up altogether on Stan and his water fuel cell research and just totally, doesn't work, yada yada yada. If you don't hear things from me and someone else says, Russ said this, here's what it said, yada yada yada, if you didn't hear it from me, either on a post or on one of these videos, probably isn't true. So don't let other people, persuade you into thinking otherwise, okay? So I'm going to try to give you guys an update. This might be a slightly long video, but I'm going to show what we've accomplished so far, where we're headed, and the overall answer of does it work, doesn't it work. I've had a few people tell me on emails and things that hey Russ, you've got all this great stuff on your website and I can see you've done a whole lot of work, but you don't have any conclusions posted anywhere. Does anything work? Does it not work? What's the deal? And actually I need to see if I've got those quenching discs. Hold on, that's one more thing I got. Yeah, they're in here. Alright, so here's one more thing to add to the list. The only conclusion I can give you right now with all of Stan Meyer's research is, does the quenching disc work? I'm going to forget a lot of names through this video, so I apologize. I do know Paul made these. Let's see if we can see through them. So they're all at angles. Anyway, those are holes drilled at particular angles, really tiny. The only thing I can give you a conclusion on as of does it work, is it real, is the quenching disc and the quenching circuit and the whole idea behind quenching. That isn't really new, but Stan uses a lot of it in the terminology in his work. So yes, that's the only thing I fully said, final, done, does work, here it is, yada yada yada. There you go. So besides the quenching disc, what else have we done? What else works? Well, here's my overall conclusion. The only thing I can tell you that works is the quenching disc. So we've tested it. It works. Now we've built and tested a lot of different things, and I'm going to try to give you each part of it and what I think about it. But before I do that, I want to give everybody a quick understanding of what the particular process is behind what I'm trying to do. What's my thinking behind everything that's going on. And basically, when I started this adventure, I started out with Stanley Meyer. I ran across some of his videos and I thought, wow, that's pretty interesting. Let's try it. The only way to prove if it works or not is try it. So I did some research. I probably researched for, I don't know, a month or two, and decided that everyone out there has tried to build this without success. So that kind of brought me down. Well, maybe I shouldn't waste my time. It doesn't work. Maybe I shouldn't waste my time. Nobody can get it to work. And so then I got into the vortex math with Marco Rodin and Randy Powell and stuff. And I found that very interesting because the way the whole system lays out is very interesting. So I spent maybe a year trying to figure out the math and how it works and building vortex coils. And I've got piles and multiple videos. And I really was getting started then. So I decided to post YouTube videos and got pretty interesting. Got a lot of cool people out there responding and wanting to learn or to teach me something, and that is awesome. And that's the reason that I post videos online, is so people can put their input in and I can hear their opinions and stuff like that. So alright, so I think it all started on the Stanley Meyer stuff with Alex Petty and the EPG. The electrical particle generator, okay? This doodad right here, alright? So I got really interested in that, the EPG and how it worked, and Alex Petty had already done some research, and the reason I knew Alex is because he started a whole vortex research group with the Rodin Math and stuff like that, and on Google Groups. Really cool deal, and totally excited about that. So got started with the EPG and really looked into it and really dug into the work, and I found it very interesting. And I'm probably not going to bring up too many names because I'm going to get them wrong, but a gentleman introduced me to a man that had pictures of the EPG, which was Don Gable. And Don was the one who actually went to Stan's estate. See, between the time I looked online for information and by the time I found information and found that there wasn't really anything out there, in between those time frames, this car came about. It was gone for 10, 12 years, I think, and Stanley's whole estate was just gone. Nobody knew where it went. And Don, this guy got me a hold with Don Gable, and Don was able to explain. He didn't give me any information picture-wise. He did help me get some thoughts. I asked him some questions. Hey, what does this look like? What does that look like? Because at that time, he had photographs, but nobody else did, or nobody that I knew. So he described it to me, and that helped me out a little bit. But through that process of taking the videos that he posted from Stan's estate and some of the details he gave me, which wasn't very much because he couldn't really tell what things were either in the photographs. But between that, I got on Google SketchUp and basically recreated the dimensions of the EPG, and basically came up with this entire device. All right, so that's where it basically started. And I decided, all right, I've got enough information, let's build it. Well, the bad thing about doing that, about replicating, like I was replicating and still am, actually, to an extent, is that you really got to understand how it works to replicate it, because just looking at a picture and building it, hey, that's awesome, but it doesn't really help you. So, I built the EPG to the photograph, you know, from what I thought, and the original thought behind replicating, this is why I replicated everything that I replicated, and didn't do a little more research before I started replicating things. The main reason for that is because I wanted to prove that it worked or didn't work the way it was. Okay, I had enough information to build the EPG, build it as it is, see if it works. Well, after I actually got it built, between the time I started and the time I finished, I figured out I really don't have enough information to make this gas, okay, that goes inside the EPG. That's where the problem is. That's where the problem still stands with the EPG, is I do not think I have enough information to accurately test the gas. Now, obviously the popper device that you've seen down here is going to help me a lot, because I originally built a chamber that's hiding in the corner somewhere. Right here, okay? I originally built this chamber, and this chamber was my electrical piece of the puzzle. This is just plastic, PVC all the way around, and the electric current going through here would definitely melt my plastic. Now, to make the gas how I thought I wanted to make it, I was going to have to get stuff really hot. Okay? Yeah, that wouldn't work. So between the process of that not working and not being able to get a high current discharge arc to work, that kind of put me at a standstill for a while. But between working on the EPG and figuring out how to make this gas, all the other things came in play. Between those time periods, okay, Don decided that he was going to sell some photographs of Stan's estate. I believe he did it over at ionizationx.com. Somebody mentioned it to me, and either he contacted me, I think he contacted me directly later, because I wasn't really in contact with him, but later he contacted me and said, hey, I'm going to be selling these photographs, I got to get 10 people for X amount of money, and, you know, they're yours. There was no signing of anything when I got those. There was no, hey, you can do this or you can't do this with them. So we, and I and 10 others, and maybe a couple more even, got a hold of these photographs, and actually a couple other people contacted me and was going to give me the photographs for free, but they didn't know that I was already contacted because I wasn't on the Ionization X website. I was just contacted directly. So all that stuff happened, and I think we hung on to the photographs for, I don't know, maybe a month or two, maybe 3 months, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened between there, and this was a giant learning experience for me, but you learn as you go. And the more and more and more that I got into this, kind of breaking this up here, but the more and more I got into this, the more I realized that anybody that is greedy or has an ego pretty much isn't going to, they're hard to work with. Me, I, yada, 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 okay? So that's the problem. And I kind of realized that. So I was one of those people. I was a, hey, me, I type of person. Look what I did. Look at this, this, and this. You go back and watch my videos, you'll see at the beginning, it's like, look, I don't know if anybody's ever done this, so here it is. You know, first guy that did it, yeah, you know, all excited about it. But that's a learning experience. So over this entire Stan Meyer's research time, by the time I started, by the time I ended, I realized that you got to drop your ego. You got to get rid of the me, I. You got to do it for the other reasons, which is do it for your children, do it for the rest of the world, make this place we live in a little bit better, so forth and so on. I learned that over the period of time. So between the time I got the photographs and now, I hung onto those photographs because I was like, hey, let's try to get a lead start on this. So I contacted a few people. Alex Petty was one of them, and I kind of showed him what I had, and I said, hey, can we replicate the circuit boards? What can we do here? And the most important part also I wanted to share with you is that at the beginning of my videos you can watch, I state very clearly, I cannot do this by myself, I need your help. Okay? I state that very clearly. You can go back and watch my videos. A lot of people say different things. I can't really think of any good ones to repeat, which doesn't matter. But basically a lot of people think that I replicate and build stuff and never finish anything. There's a lot of unfinished projects, but there also is a lot of finished projects that I have posted information about, and can't really say that I got any positive results, but I did post the information with that I'd gotten. So backing up, I asked Alex to help me redesign these circuit boards. Let's build this stuff and see how it works. You know, and in between that time frame, I'm like, hey guys, this stuff's real. And the reason that I think it's real, even now, I think that Stanley is a legitimate person. I think his technology did work. And the main reason for that, if you really look at the photographs, you really look at all the information, you look at the 15 years of his life that him and his brother, his brother was a major role in this. If you look at it, it's like, why would somebody spend this much effort to make this a scam? Stanley never disappeared, he never hid, he never took a bunch of money and left. You know, he kept progressing this research until he got to the point where he made this injector. So I truly think, and this probably should be at the end of this video, but I truly think that Stanley Meyer did actually have a working unit. I think that things work. Now, I also think that some of the items that he had were more for show and not for actual usage. As in, he built it, it didn't work to his specifications, so he kind of left it and moved on, but he still went ahead and stuck some of that information within his patents and stuff, which kind of makes it confusing. So I kind of think that not all of his things actually worked the way he thought, even though he built them and tested them and they're in the box of parts that we got pictures of. Some of those things may have not worked correctly. They may have all worked great, I don't really know. From my tests, I'm having kind of mixed conclusions on whether things work or not. So anyway, I asked Alex, is this going to work? You know, can we do this? Because I knew from the beginning, I cannot get this stuff done by myself. I knew that. I knew that I am smart enough to build it, but I knew that I'm not smart enough to actually make it function correctly. You can go back and watch, and I think that to this day, the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing is because of the amount of good people and help that is in this world today. I'm just using my resources to better us all. Most people who actually know me can tell you that I am, you know, the most selfless person that you'll probably meet. I'm always giving everything I possibly can to help others in whatever it is, whether it be working at or helping out at the church, running lights for services, or helping friends, you know, repair their car or something breaks. You know, I try to do those things, and not just speak it, but you know, I am who I look like in videos. I am that person in real life. I'm not just going around running in circles and making a double life of things, if you want to call it that. So, yeah, kind of trying to get everything in here that I can remember. So basically, I'm going to just quickly show you everything that we built. Well, actually, before I do that, I got something else that I don't want to forget to say. I think the website is quantumheat.org, I believe. The Smart Scarecrow show the last couple of this week. Today is December what is it, 23rd, I believe. It's a Saturday. Yeah, December 22nd, 23rd, something like that. Basically, the guys over at Quantum, I think it's quantumheat.org, are replicating some really cool things. And what they're doing is actually, they're doing tests and then posting this stuff on their website. And the data is almost streamed live. So they call it live science. Again, the two gentlemen, I don't know their names, but it's a Smart Scarecrow for this week, the Rents Radio, I believe, show that Smart Scarecrow does, and Smart Scarecrow show. I recommend you listening to the radio show or watching it on YouTube. I'll post a video in the description. And these guys really explain what I've been trying to do, and they hit it right on the head. They're basically doing live open science. All right, so if it works or if it fails, the information is there for you to look at and decide for yourself. So they're learning, you're learning, and then they're able to receive feedback from people. And they're really using this feedback to better their experiments. That's what I'm doing. I am throwing myself out there to the internet saying, hey, internet, all of you people in the world, you know, everybody has a way to get to this video, then you have a way to contact me and try to help me, help you, help us figure this out, which would be the Stan Meyer's research at this point. But it rolls over to all of my projects. And from the beginning I state that I cannot do this alone. So I recommend you go watch what these guys are doing, check it out, and you'll have an idea, understanding of really what I've been trying to do, which is just work in the open source everything so anyone can use it for their ability, not for purposes of investing, making products, because this is just research to try to get to the point where maybe somebody can make a product. And that would be great. But at that time, you know, I'd hope they would want to work with the individuals, myself or others, on the research to make a product or something like that. Hey, that's great. But I myself don't really ever see myself creating a product. There's a few things that I would like to do similar to that, to build certain circuit boards or have things in stock. Hey, somebody wants something. They don't have the ability to build it like I do, but they want to use it for their research. All my stuff's open source. You know, I could have a whole place on my website where I'm selling stuff, but everything on there would be open source. And that's the idea behind the forums, my website, everything. If it gets to the point where somebody wants to sell something, as long as it's open source, you know, the advertising is kind of there because they're doing what I've been trying to do, which is open source information. Share information and just get that stuff out there so that you have the knowledge to continue if other people around you seem to quit, you can still continue because you have the information. So I freely posted, kind of going back to the story now, I freely posted all of Stan Meyer's photographs. Now, originally in that transition process between me, I, and my ego, and over here to, hey, just give it away. It's the best option you have. Between that transition, I gave away the photographs for the EPG. I still hung on to the other photographs of all of the other stuff because they weren't out there yet. And two people actually contacted me, and they both gave me the information, the photographs and stuff if they wanted to, but I said I already had them. So another guy contacted me about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months into the having the photographs, and he said, you know, hey, I've got these posted on a torrent site, and you know, you can just download them. I said, okay. I said, that's awesome. That's good. And then at the same time frame, within a day or two, another gentleman tried to sell these photographs on CD for like $300 on his website. Okay, and I'm like, this is stupid. These pictures are out there. You can find them if you really look for them, especially since they're on the torrents. So, all right, time to just post them on my YouTube, post them on my website, post them on the forums, get them things out there. That was kind of the transition period between, my ego and letting go of the ego and I, me, and be more, hey, everyone, check this out. Let's build this stuff. And the ultimate goal is to get a team together, get people together, and help build this stuff. For instance, Sharky and a lot of other people helped build this entire circuit board. This is a replica, as far as the circuit is concerned. Pretty much a replica with some minor changes of the actual voltage intensifier circuit. Alright? This is the kind of thing I wanted to do with Alex, and for those of you who don't know, me and Alex, I haven't really talked to Alex a whole lot lately at all. I'm not really sure why or what happened there. If he got upset or I did something or said something or didn't do something. I'm really not sure, but I haven't talked to Alex in a while, so I haven't really been working with Alex on anything. Just an FYI, so you know. But Alex, give me a call, buddy. I'd like to talk to you. Get to chatting again. I very, very, very much so enjoy those. Oh, I'm losing stuff. Anyway, so, you know, the idea was to get a team together or people together in a group, and a gentleman by the name of Matt, he said, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a website. I said, that would be amazing. A donated website. All right, cool. So in the process of setting up the website, I said, can we start a forum so I can get people together and really communicate? Because I was getting a lot of emails with information that should be shared with more than just myself, just random information that I thought was very valuable. So I was like, all right. So he said, sure, we can set something up. So he helped me set up the forums, and he's still there. I talk to him occasionally. He's kind of more out of the loop now, but he's still, you know, he's donated the website, and now donations actually keep the website up and keep it going in the forums, and so through that process we were to be able to get people together and create things like this. All right, we've also got enough people together to make an order for these particular laminate, or these aren't laminate, these are ceramic ferrite cores for this particular VIC. Okay, and the same thing here, this runs this circuit. Okay, now I knew from the beginning, I don't know how many times I got to repeat myself, and I'll try not to. I'll try not to. I don't know, you know, to design this entire circuit board the way it is right now would took me a very long time. There's a few things that I just don't understand about some things that I could use help on, or need help on. Could I figure it out myself? It would take me a long time, but if I had the internet to do a little research, I could probably figure it out. But I knew that other people that are much smarter than me, I shouldn't say much smarter than me. What I should say is, with different focuses of their understanding. So some people understand electronics, some people understand mechanics, some people understand physics, some people understand, you know, thermal processes and nuclear things and all sorts of stuff. I was trying to get these people together to help understand the whole idea. And that's the ultimate reason. And like I said, you can go back to the beginning of my videos and watch, and you'll see that progression between getting people together to try to figure this out, and letting people throw information at me, and then trying to start the forum so that we can get people there to actually get a group of people together. Now, I got to say something really quickly about the forums. I really wish that I had was able to organize it a little bit better, to make goals and lists and stuff, and I think if we had the right individuals, and there's been a few there that have tried to do things like this, and I appreciate that, but ultimately we need to have a little bit more organization and set goals and people working on it. My original thought behind trying to get some cores like this was get everybody the cores, the same ones, so that we can test with them, we can try different things, we can validate things together as a group. Fire Pinto was building 3D printers at the time, and he was able to print these bobbins. That's freaking amazing. That was whenever, you know, 3D printers really started getting into the hands of the layman's guys. It wasn't too long ago that not everybody had one sitting by their side. But it's more popular now, and you know, you can print those out in 3D. They're posted on the website. They're posted on the forums. Those particular drawings in the proper code, and just print them out yourself if you want them. So, you know, and we try to get everybody together to do that, and people pulled together to get to this point. I did a lot of the work of replicating the exact type of wire and size and everything else. I mean, I did a lot of that stuff myself. With the help of donations to buy proper meters and things to get that to be accomplished. And there's a spreadsheet of all the information of all the stuff that I've done on these coils and stuff. And so yeah, so that's really what I need to tell you guys. The conclusion, I'll add that stuff at the end. I'll go through a quick final. But let me show you what I've built so far and where I kind of stand at. So the VIC circuit, voltage intensifier circuit for this particular bobbin, coil, and core set is here. This is kind of the original resonant charging choke for the rotary system. That I haven't actually built the rotary system. That's something that would be a good idea to try to learn from the beginning. But again, you guys have to remember, I am replicating what I have information of. So Don Gable had enough information and recorded a lot of the coils and stuff and what was going on, and I just tried to replicate that. And the reason for replicating exactly the way I could see it was, does it work as it's built? Normally when you try to replicate somebody's work, it's so old that you don't have enough information. You don't have these type of pictures. And we had detailed information and pictures to get us far enough, everybody did, because we gave them away, on my website anyway, enough detailed information to replicate this stuff. I wanted to know, does it work like it's built? That's what I wanted to know. I didn't want to say, hey, how does it work, and start from scratch and build my own. No, I wanted to say, okay, yeah, of course, how does it work, but can we make it work as it was built, as we have information? That's the reason that I replicate, okay, the way that I could get this stuff to work. So, the gas gun and the electronics to go with it. Alright, replicated. Try to replicate this exactly as I saw it, because I wanted to know if it worked like this. Alright, so I'll run through these real quick at the end and describe a few things. But pulsing circuits for that, the pulsing circuit for different resonant testing, the cells that we built, again with the help of donations and people, and I still haven't even got, I kind of broke away about, what, 6 months ago, working on different things to get my head off this topic, because I really need to take a break from this topic. So really quickly, oh, and the VIC for the last item, which I'll show you in a second, and the cores, again, were donated by Don Gable. This man cut these out by hand, because he was also very believed, and he still does, believe that Stan's stuff works. And it's just a matter of time to figure it out. Stainless steel wire. Oh, that's the last thing I want to talk to you about. I'll go through all this stuff real quick again, explain to you. So, really quickly, let's run through these and I'll get to the end point of where I left off from my research, basically. Does this work? I'm going to try to hit each one of these. Does this work? Again, the only thing I've confirmed so far is the quenching disc. So that's why you don't see these things on my website, final results. I haven't got that far. So does this work? I can tell you that a lot of people that I've talked to, including others that have replicated it pretty much exactly, 2,000 volts maximum is about all they can get out of it. And when they hook it up to a cell, they pretty much drop that down to nothing. Now that's from what I've heard, that's from what I know. So does it work as it is right now that we figured out, that I figured out? Nah, I haven't figured it out. It's very interesting. Again, if you follow back to the science and you look at how things are supposed to work, the theories, I should say, not necessarily the science, but if you look at the theories and then you bring science into it, you can see that these things should work the way they are described. That's the end of the story. They should work. So does it work? I haven't got it, to do what I think, and the multiple other people, Tony Woodside, Max Miller, those individuals I know have replicated this and really haven't got it to work as described the way it should. Does it work or doesn't it? It's still up in the air. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying I haven't got it to work the way it should work. Okay. The gas gun. Does this thing work the way it should work? The pictures that we have, alright, I'm going to say the way it's engineered, the way it's designed, the way it's built, the way I've tried to replicate it exactly, probably is not the best solution. Yes, you can ionize gases with just light. Yes, you can ionize gases with high voltage. Yes, Stan was doing both. But I think that there's much more efficient ways. This looks cool as all get out, but working-wise, I think there's much better applications to making it work. And for all we know, that unit he had could have been just a display unit. But in the patents, it's almost identical, so I don't think it was a display unit. So, does the gas gun work or not? Yes, it ionizes gases. Sure, it does work. Could it be a heck of a lot better and simpler and more efficient? Yeah. So there's a conclusion on that. Really quickly, the cells. All right, what about these things? Do these things work? Well, this goes with the coils. I actually haven't got to finish the connectors yet. This was my kind of my stopping point at the moment. I was needed a little break, and I'm glad I took it. But I will be back to these and finish these completely. But these two prongs, I'm trying to finish those. So do these work? You know, well, yeah, they'll make hydrogen and oxygen, sure. But will they work with the coil set? You know, I don't know yet. This is why I can't give you a final answer. This is why there's no conclusions on my website. I'm not done yet. I just need to take a break from the project. It's been like a year and a half straight every day. I mean, I posted complex videos. If you go back and look, I posted complex videos for 2 years. I think I went back and looked, and if you averaged it out, it was 2.5 videos a week of detailed building. It's crazy. I got more done in 2 years working full-time, having a kid, and having one already than most people can get done in 10 years. I mean, really, honestly. I just worked my butt off to try to help you guys, help me understand this whole thing. So I already talked about the EPG. There's probably missing some. Oh, the VIC coil. All right, that's where I stopped at. I've rebuilt this thing 3 or 4 times. That's where I wanted to talk about real quick. So I mentioned to you guys I was going to have stainless steel wire and the ceramic part for the injector. Well, what happened? The individual that I was talking to just dropped off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened. He had some stuff set up. I even gave him some donation money, and the guy's name is Alan. Alan, if you're out there, hey buddy, just send me an email. You know, I don't really have hard feelings for you, you know, but I need to know where the heck you went. But nonetheless, disappeared. I don't know, you know, the information, the contacts and stuff. And at that point, that was kind of my transition period where, like, I just need a break because this is getting overwhelming. And also, the ceramic part was from the same individual. I do believe he even sent me the email, the contact information to get the stainless steel wire. And so I know he was working on it. I just don't know quite where he went. Anyway, I don't have the ceramic part. I don't have the stainless steel wire. I've been talking to the buddy Paul, trying to get some things organized. And Paul, if you don't know, Electro is his name on YouTube, I believe. He's built a different style injector and kind of in the verge of starting to test it. I'm trying to help him out on what and how to test it. But I don't have the ceramic parts, and I don't have the stainless steel wire, and it just kind of went kaboom right then and there. It was just like, all right, I need to take a break. You know, it was pretty stressful. I am having fun, and I do enjoy it, but it is extremely stressful trying to get this stuff done. So, with all that said, I wanted to show you, again, the goal of other people having you know, helping me or the community to understand this stuff is who has abilities to machine parts, who has abilities to make circuits, who has abilities to engineer coils, who has the abilities to do this and that and this and that. All right, well, an individual named Scott has created basically the first part of the injector. I'll give you a little bit more details. These two go together like this. And he made these entire pieces. And here's the stainless steel rod that goes in here. Okay. Alright. Now, I don't have the ceramic part. And Scott actually injured himself building this or doing something else. I'm not quite sure which. Hurt himself once. He kind of healed. And he hurt himself again. It's an older gentleman, but he has a little shop. And his work is just amazingly excellent. And another gentleman donated the end mill for the particular size hull. Unfortunately, as we've tried it, Scott actually broke one, and that's okay. The gentleman who donated these actually had these made and had them calculated to the precise geometry. So Scott got it out of there, and we tried another one, and another gentleman, cannot remember his name right now, too much going on, too much to remember for this video, decided that he had the ability to machine this particular part on his machine. The inside of here, unfortunately, It doesn't look real pretty. It's got some waves in it, and I think that has to do with the way this is designed. It's only a 2 flute, and it really should be more like a 4 or 6 flute, and I think it wanted to vibrate. And you know, when you drill like with the drill bit, it wants to vibrate in 3s. I'm not going to blame that on anybody that it turned out like it did, but you know, not probably going to work. This piece is probably going to have to be remade. Fortunately, this is the easier part to make. This is the very, very, very hard part to make. Scott did an amazing job on this thing. Alright, you see that pinhole in that threads right there? I know it's kind of hard to see. Right there it is. Okay. That pinhole comes down to here in this hole, and there's a hole inside that hole. So it's a pinhole all the way down this entire length, coming into here into this channel. And then inside this channel you can see the 10,000ths slots and the 10,000ths deep groove. Alright, then the ceramic part goes through there, and you can see that there is a taper on here that basically the ceramic part holds this part in the exact right place. The bottom of this, which you can't see, can you? Nope. Has the flat spot for this part to sit against. Now this is going to be hard to see. Scott did an amazing job on this. All these threads and everything he made, this was just a hunk of stainless steel. It's hard to see, but there is space between these two parts. The reason that there's space between those two parts is so that this flush part can meet with the bottom flush part, and basically that's how it seals. Plus, I think there's actually there's a few more parts to this. There's a retaining cap, the ceramic part, and a Durlin piece, and all those hold these pieces. Now this thing's actually made really, really well. You can see that this thing is very, very centered. Okay, but unfortunately the way the end came out, I'll probably still try it because it's made. But I think I think we'll have to make another one. You can't really see in there. Probably not going to be able to see in there. There's just some grooves in there. It's really good. I think it just vibrated. It's not. Like I said, I'm not gonna really blame anybody's fault. It's just the way this is designed. And Scott had the same problem. Anyway, the gentleman who actually did the machining for that part totally blanked. But I'll give him a shout out in another video. But anyway, so that's where it stands. So yes, I'm building the injector. I'm actually going to buy some. I forgot the material, and make the actual ceramic piece. You can buy a machinable ceramic. Mylar? No? I can't remember it. But anyway, I will finish this, and we will test it, and we will use the stainless steel wire that hopefully we will be getting. Still trying to work on those things. So, there's a little bit of an overview of Stan Meyer's research, okay? Wow. Now, it's only been like 6 months, I believe, or maybe a little bit longer, since I stopped working on Stan Meyer's research. When we started working on this, Scott actually offered to make this right after I showed that we had drawings and gave them away for free. He offered to make it, and he's slowly been doing it. He's just like me. He's got a full job he's got to take care of. And he's been making this stuff on the side. Then I sent it to the other guy, and yada, 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 and all this stuff. And it just took a very long time. And then, unfortunately, give Scott his prayers, but he injured himself. To the point where I said, hey, that's okay, just send it, because I know it's taking you a long time. You've got the hard part done, I can make the rest. So I will either, the offer's out there, if somebody wants to finish the end cap or something, that's great. But otherwise, I'll try to do it. Cutting threads is kind of interesting. I haven't done it in a very long time, especially on the inside of something. But anyway, nonetheless, there is kind of the overview of Stan Meyer's research. So the moral of the story of this video is, if you didn't hear it from me, it's probably not true. And if you heard it from one of my really good friends, it might be true. But, you know, just ask me. If you hear a rumor or something, like, oh, I gave up, or oh, it's not real, or I quit, or yada, yada, send me an email, and I will tell you that I've been a little harsh on my email lately. I have not had time to sit down and reply. I've got a long list of emails that I would like to reply to. Some of them are very important that I haven't got back with a few people, but just with conversations and stuff. But I'm doing my best. I'm only one guy. The reason for starting on the PAP stuff was to actually learn more about how I'm going to make this gas for the EPG. that all still stands. Nothing has changed since my last Stanley Meyer's update on what I'm trying to do here. And so now that I've built this awesome chamber that I can throw a high amps and currents into, now I can use that to actually replicate gases for the EPG. Okay, so, woo, there you go. Hopefully I can get this uploaded. My internet's been kind of crapping out, so if this is terrible quality footage, it's because I'm trying to down it to get it on the internet. So anyway, that's it. I hope you guys have a good time. You got any questions or something, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll try to get back with those answers. But ultimately, no, I didn't give up. Yes, I do believe Stan's research is real. I do believe that we can get it to work, and I do believe it's going to take all of our efforts together. I don't think any one single person can do it. I just don't. I know a lot of people don't realize this, but Stan had a team behind him, and his brother and him, you know, really were the main masterminds. But if you look at some of the videos you can find online, a lot of other people were helping Stan get to the point of where he was. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm trying to do it in an open source manner. I'm trying to do it in a give everyone free, you know, go for it. So all of the donations and things that I've received to build this stuff, you know, this is kind of the conclusion video right now as it stands, is still working on it, still going for it. A lot of other projects going on, and it's freezing cold out here. My hands are like ice, like I read they are. And I'm going to get going. So have a good night, have a good day whenever you watch this. Leave a comment, and hope you learned something. The conclusions are still going. So peace and love to you guys. Again, thank you all for your support. I could not even got near this far without your support, and I mean that. I wouldn't be even close to this. And so I want to give everybody a thank you. Everyone that I've ever talked to and been involved with, I want to give you a thanks. So that's it. Peace and love to you guys. Have a good day, and I'm out. Russ out. See you. I'm going to go spend some time with my family, which I've been doing lately, and it's much needed. But amazing work, Scott. Good job. I'll get it finished, get it tested. Thanks, Don, for the wire. Thanks, Sharky, and everyone else for helping finish that board. Chris, thanks for helping get these tubes done, man. Getting some of these parts. Fire Pinto, Mike Powers. Man, there's so many there's just amazing amount of people out there that are awesome. So, have a good day, guys. God bless you all. I'll see you soon.